Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Cities Explored, the series where we explore the history, geography, and culture of major cities in the US and Canada. This episode, we will be exploring Albany, New York, with nicknames such as Fort Orange, Cap City, and Smallbany, with city limits having a population of just over 100,000 and a metro area population of around 900,000. For comparison, New York City, the largest city in the state and in the US overall, has 22.2 times this population. And 4 out of 5 of the boroughs of New York City have a population higher than the entire Metro Albany population. Albany is the 329th largest city in the US and 64th largest metro area in the US. Albany was originally inhabited by local native tribes for an estimated 12,000 years. The most notable tribes in the area were the Mohawk and Mahakian people. These tribes were mostly displaced throughout the 16th and 17th centuries due to European colonialism and relocated to the modern-day Ontario area. Although there are still natives in the Albany region today who are working together with local communities to preserve their histories and culture and obtain more legal rights and sovereignty. Over 230 miles to the north of Albany, hugging the Canadian border, there is a native reservation called St. Regis Indian Territory for the Mohawk Reservation. This reservation is only 22 square miles. While at their peak, the Mohawk tribe territory covered several thousand square miles. It really is wild to me that this once thriving tribe is now relegated to such a small portion of land and people. Albany was founded as a Dutch settlement in 1614 and was originally called Fort Nassau. Later, a more permanent residence was taken at what was called Fort Orange, hence the nickname. The city was originally established as a fur trading post, and trade routes were facilitated through the Hudson River. The English would eventually take over the city in 1664 and later establish the capital of the New York province in 1797. The charter that officiated Albany as a city was authorized in 1686 in what was known as the Dongan Charter. This makes Albany's charter the oldest city charter in the US that is still being used to this day. Albany is located in the banks of the Hudson River in what is known as Hudson Valley. The terrain surrounding Albany is generally hilly and marked by several prominent ridges, most notably the Helderberg Escarpment to the southwest and Norman's Kill Ravine to the northwest. The area is part of the larger Appalachian mountain range, although the mountains themselves are not directly adjacent to the city. Albany experiences a humid continental climate, characterized by cold winters and warm summers. The city is known for its lush greenery with numerous parks and green spaces scattered throughout the area. Now, usually I don't think judging an entire city for crime is a fair way to assess safety within a city, since usually crime can vary drastically from neighborhood to neighborhood, as well as reporting quality varying from city to city. Any person can comfortably live in the most dangerous city in this video series and be perfectly fine. That said, Albany has a violent crime rate as 7.48 violent crimes committed per 1,000 residents. This makes Albany ranked in the 34th place if it was ranked on the US cities ranked by crime list. Safer than Phoenix, but slightly more dangerous than Orlando. The skyline of Albany is dominated by old Renaissance Revival architecture, with a mix of modern high-rises scattered throughout the downtown core. Since a skyscraper is considered to be any building of at least 150 meters in height, Albany is home to just one skyscraper, which is the Aratus Corning building of the Empire State Plaza, standing at 180 meters in height. Some other noteworthy buildings include the Alfred E. Smith Office Tower, the Mohawk Tower, New York State Department of Environmental Headquarters, the State Capitol Building, and the New York State Controller's Headquarters, as well as the Egg Theater, which is very unique. The Albany skyline is pretty average in my opinion. I do think that the city does have a lot of nearby and inner city green space, and I am a fan of all the old Renaissance architecture. I actually visited Albany when I was in high school, taking a train from Rochester, New York to Albany. The station was actually across the Hudson River in Rensselaer, so I got to have a full view of the city. I do remember thinking that the skyline was pretty cool. It isn't the best skyline in the country by any means, but I do think it definitely punches above its weight class as far as city aesthetics goes. The city's racial demographics break down as follows: 50.6% white, 27.9% African American, 9.9% Hispanic or Latino, 7.1% Asian, and 4.5% for others / combined. In the last presidential election, the county voted 65% Democrat, 33% Republican, and 2% other / third party. Albany is home to what many consider to be the country's oldest sporting event venue in history, the Saratoga Race Course, which hosts horseback racing. There's also currently a Major League Lacrosse team hosted in the city called the Albany Firewolves. Besides this, the city hosts no major leagues, but it does host many minor leagues and college team sports in basketball, hockey, football, baseball, and soccer. The city is home to the University of Albany and Union College, which both host teams in Division I sports. Some important local festivals and events include the nearby town of Cooperstown Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, Pearl Palooza, which is the city's biggest music festival, and the Christmas events downtown, such as Pictures with Santa and ice skating at the Empire State Plaza. Albany is home to many local and nearby hiking trails, and the nearby Peebles Island State Park is the site of cross-country skiing activities. The Hudson Valley region hosts many locations for kayaking, canoeing, and other water-related activities. The city is also home to many parks, such as Washington Park, which is 84 acres of land that's dedicated to walking paths, gardens, and sports fields. There's also Lincoln Park, the Crossing Park of Colony, and Buckingham Lake Park, which is my personal favorite. The Albany Pine Bush Preserve also hosts 3,200 acres of land dedicated to protecting local pine barrens, making it the second largest of its ecosystem type in the world. Other local notable activities include cycling, winter sports, and golfing during the summer months. Albany has a pretty good music and art scene with lots of local support. The Albany Symphony Orchestra, founded in 1930, is one of the oldest symphony orchestras in the United States. They perform live at venues such as Troy Savings Bank Music Hall, Proctor's Theater, and Palace Theater. Live theater performances can also be found at the Capitol Repertory Theater and The Egg. The Capital District of New York is home to a few local food scenes, such as Albany-style hot dogs, which are typically served on a steamed bun with toppings such as spicy meat sauce, mustard, onions, and sometimes sauerkraut. Apple cider donuts, chicken riggies, which is a popular pasta dish in the Albany area. It typically consists of rigatoni pasta, and of course, Half Moon cookies. Some top-rated local restaurants include Iron Gate Cafe, the City Beer Hall, Athos Restaurant, the Hollow Bar and Kitchen, the Kitchen Table, Cafe Italia, and DeFazio's Pizza. This is only just scratching the surface of what Albany's food scene has to offer. Albany does not have what I would call any major amusement parks. However, there is a small amusement park geared for kids called Huck's Playground, as well as a Six Flags that is about an hour drive north of the city. Some local attractions within the city include the State Capitol Building, the Institute of History and Art, the New York State Museum, the Iroquois Indian Museum, and the Schuler Mansion State Historic Site. Albany is served by Albany City School District, which has a niche score of C+. The city is also home to the University of Albany, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, Union College, Albany Medical College, and Albany Law School, as well as many more colleges in the surrounding areas. Albany, New York is the fourth largest economy in the state, behind New York City, Buffalo, and Rochester. Out of all U.S. metros in the U.S., it is ranked as the 52nd largest metro by real GDP. Some of the largest employers in the area are the state government, the Albany Medical Center, General Electric, Global Foundries, and the Key Bank. As of now, there are no Forbes 500 companies that are headquartered in the area. However, General Electric does have a significant presence in the region, both due to the fact that they have a global research center in the area and their HQ is in Boston, which is only about a 2.5-hour drive away. Albany isn't even in the top 15 cities for walk score in its own state. However, it is 4th for transit and 6th for cycling. It has a walk score of 65, a transit score of 52, and a bike score of 55. Capital District Transportation Authority manages the transportation systems in the area, as well as the city being home to the 10th busiest Amtrak station in the entire country. The city has pockets of walkable areas with good urban fabric, but in my opinion, it is lacking in its ability to seamlessly connect one neighborhood to the next, which would make car-free living in the city possible, but challenging. In fact, a common council member for the city by the name of Leah Golby was known for running a blog since 2007 where she talks about her car-free life in the region. She also runs a Twitter where you can find her promoting urbanism and bike infrastructure and safe city design. The city's monthly transit pass costs just $45 a month, with discounts also available for students and senior citizens. Some notable people in the region include Andy Rooney, Elizabeth Hamilton, Tony Vinciquerra, the chairman and CEO of Sony Pictures. So some interesting facts about Albany is that it is home to the invention of dominoes and perforated toilet paper. It also includes the oldest celebration of Santa Claus in the country and is home to the largest Walmart supercenter in the country. Anyways, that's all for Albany. I hope this video was informative and entertaining for you. And if you feel that I have missed anything or gotten anything incorrect, please let me know in the comments below. Sources are compiled in a Google document in the description and/or pinned comment. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next video on Anchorage, Alaska.